Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. My name is Monique, and this is my second tarot channel here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for your continued love and support here on the channel. So, today's pick a card reading, we are doing what lesson is your soul currently learning? Okay. So, what is, I guess, your current soul lesson? What lesson is your soul currently learning? However way you wish to think about that. Okay, so we do have three piles or three choices for you guys today. If you do feel drawn to more than one, go ahead and go with whatever your intuition is guiding you towards. But pile number one, we have the black egg with the blue apatite crystal. So let's take a closer look here. Pile one is the black egg with the blue apatite. What lesson is your soul currently learning? Pile two, we have the horse, and that is with this Sardonyx. Okay, for pile number two, with the horse and this crystal here. Pile number three, we have the camel, and that is with this blue agate. For pile three, what lesson is your soul currently learning? If you do feel drawn to more than one, like I said, that's perfectly okay for today's reading. Go with whatever your intuition is drawing you towards. Timestamps will be down below, and I will see you guys at your reading. Hi, pile one. So we have the black egg for you, and I actually wanted to read. This is from the Animal Spirit Guidebook, Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And so I feel like the message that goes along with this is pretty important. So I didn't want to leave that out in case this message is something that does help some of you out there with understanding what lesson your soul is currently learning right now. I do feel like it is pretty profound. So let's look at that. Where is it at? There it is, the black egg. Okay. So your soul that the lesson your soul is currently learning right now is speaking from an authentic voice, the truth. It says the black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in, books draw us in, the concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself, and what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment, in every situation. It's the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. Okay, so the black egg and the fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra, it says the subtle essence of this card resides at the base of the throat, at the Vishuddha chakra. The ancient sages saw this center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. Vishuddha translates as especially pure. The balance of this center is important for all of us, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. Wow, so some of you might even feel that your soul's calling is to write, is to do something having to do with writing in whichever form that takes, musicians, or even teaching, okay? So that is pretty cool. And I thought, yeah, that's definitely a message that pile one needs to hear. Okay, so let's now go into The tarot, okay, so there could be a lot of throat chakra, whether you have a blocked, throat chakra energy, an underactive or even overactive throat chakra. And overactive would be that you are someone who is, very strong opinions, very strong opinions. You could be somebody who kind of does not think before you speak sometimes, and sometimes, saying things that are very harsh. It can sometimes come across as aggressive. Okay, if it's overactive, that would be out of balance as well. Underactive throat chakra could be that you are silent, that you cannot stand up for yourself. You're not assertive. You're afraid to be authoritative or to speak your truth. Okay. So it could really be that you fall anywhere along that spectrum, but this is really helping you, I feel like, to clear and balance, I feel like, more importantly, that throat chakra energy. Okay. So let's see what else with the tarot. What lesson is your soul currently learning? Pile number 1. Learning how to speak your truth, but in a way that is authentic to you, but also not really coming across as, bullying or, being bullied in some way. Just very balanced energy. What lesson is pile number 1 soul currently learning? We have the 6 of water, which is the 6 of cups. 6 of cups. We have the 4 of cups. Wow, look at that. All of these cups. 6 of cups, 4 of cups, 5 of cups. So it looks like to me with all this energy here that there's a lot that your soul is needing to express at this time. Most definitely. Okay. There could be a lot of wounds here, of things that you're healing through from childhood, or even situations from the past. Okay. There is an overall feeling with the 4 of Cups energy here of discontent. Some of you may have been rejected by friends or romantic partners, or even, from parents. Okay. The 4 of Cups is definitely a feeling of rejection and feeling sad. We have the 5 of Cups energy here too. And the 5 of Cups is about grief, pain, loss, shame, guilt, remorse, sometimes depression, addictions. Okay. Some of you may have, and this won't be for all of you, but some of you may have had some maladaptive ways of coping with your pain. Okay, whether that is through developing some unhealthy patterns of behavior, forms of escapism to escape your own feelings, your own emotions, or experiences that you may have had. And so, yes, I definitely feel like there's a lot here that your soul is wanting to express here. So there's a lot of work surrounding the throat chakra and being able to give a voice to all of these feelings and these emotions so that you can heal. Okay, let's see what else. What lesson is your soul currently learning? Pile 1. We have the World. Yeah, and I like this little World card here because to me, I'm looking at this as... It kind of reminds me of that festival in India. And I don't know if is it Diwali? I'm not sure if that's the right, I know you guys will let me know if it's right or not, but this kind of reminds me of that. I've watched them doing little festivals in India before where they let little things go into the is it the Ganges River? And to me, I'm seeing all these little things, these little lanterns here that are being lit and almost like released in the sky, let go. So there is this essence of freedom here, I feel like. And the world is about completing cycles, closing chapters, endings to allow for new beginnings here, coming full circle, bringing things to completion. Okay. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles here. What lesson is your soul learning? And I feel like you also have the Knight of Pentacles energy here. So to me, this is also about taking little baby steps, you know, in your progression forward. I feel like through your healing here. We've got this lots of Cups energy. 4, 5, 6, 7 of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. Look what's at the bottom. The 8 of Cups. This is like a whole thing. Pile 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of Cups. You know, and the 8 of Cups, to me, it's like she's looking out over this beautiful little river or something here. And the wind is kind of, you know, blowing in her hair. There's all these little butterflies here, which to me are like the symbol of something that's being transformed here. And the 8 of Cups is about moving on. It's about letting go, you know, from something, a person, a situation, a way of thinking that no longer serves us. And so to me, this looks like a lot of transformation here as she's releasing, right? Everything into the water here. There's this energy of clearing here. And then even in this 7 of Cups card, she's sitting in the moon. She's sitting on the moon. And she's touching the sky here, the stars. But the 7 of Cups is about options, choices, dreams, visions. And it kind of looks like, oddly enough, like even though this is the moon here, it kind of looks like she's also sitting in the water here. And there's also, what is this thing called? A scythe, I think, for clearing things away. So she is somewhat kind of submerged in the water here. But her head, in a sense, is out of the water. So to me, there is her kind of sitting in her feelings and her emotions, but at the same time illuminating things, you know, that are kind of going on in her mind. There's also these clouds that are parting out of the way here. So I feel like, yes, for you, this is learning how to really kind of dig deep into your feelings and your emotions and be able to use and find your voice to be able to express them so that you can let it go, right? Because otherwise you're holding on to and sitting in your pain, your sadness, your guilt, your regrets, your, you know, experiences, like I said, for somebody that you may have had during childhood. And now this gives you the opportunity here to give a voice to it, but also to release. And I feel like with the 9 of Pentacles energy here, this is also a card of independence. The 9 of Pentacles is a place that we achieve by a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline. The 9 of Pentacles is us finally being able to reap the rewards, you know, for something that we've worked so hard for. And so I feel like this is you finding a sense of independence, a sense of autonomy, outside of just the feelings and the emotions that may have consumed you or have taken over in some way, that you finally can give them a voice to be able to transmute them and release them, you know, by illuminating them one by one. It feels like there's a lot to heal here, but I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, it's you keeping yourself committed to that. You know, committed to your healing, putting in the time, the energy, the effort, you know. And even looking at this little fox here, the fox is sleeping peacefully, you know, just resting. And that's what the Nine of Pentacles is about. It's like, and this card comes after the Eight of Pentacles, which is all about self-mastery, right? We put in all that hard work, effort into getting better and better at something. And then when we get to the Nine of Pentacles energy, this is us finally just being able to enjoy, right? What we've built or what we've invested our time and energy into. And in this case, I feel like it is a lot of you healing and releasing feelings, emotions, illuminating things, like I said, and being able to kind of clear them here. You know, so it's kind of like you moving through all of these stages of, you know, feeling emotionally closed off here, blocked off, kind of like being swallowed up by all of your feelings and your emotions, but being able to kind of reflect on things from the past and being able to, like I said, illuminate them one by one so that you can start to release and then kind of see all of these little butterflies being, let's just say, one memory, something that you've given a voice to so that you can transmute and change, right? The pain or the, you know, whatever it is that's attached to that emotion, you've given it a voice. You've been able to speak your truth so that you can then clear and close and release. And, you know, it's just a beautiful, beautiful energy here. Okay, so let's see. What else do I want to add in here? Let's pull some of these. Okay, so what lesson is your soul currently learning? And I feel like for those of you that are still, you know, working on your healing journey here, is to remember this Knight of Pentacles energy about taking it one step at a time, you know, because healing can be something that is very overwhelming. It can be confusing, trying to sort through all your feelings and understand them. And the Knight of Pentacles is about slow and steady, right? As long as you commit yourself to your healing and to working through things here, you will make it. Okay, let's see what else. What lesson is your soul learning? Pile number 1. We have new beginnings here. With the Moon Maiden, new beginnings. There's a lot within the feminine energy here. We've got Spirit of the River, movement toward adventure. Movement toward adventure. What else? We have Lay of the Land with ancestral wisdom. And we also have the Dust Devil, and it says moving out of stagnation. Okay? I would say it again because your reading here today is predominantly heavy within the element of water, which is our feelings, our emotions, our creative energy, our intuition. You know, so not only is this healing from things from the past, the Five of Cups can also be us feeling discouraged, feeling disappointed, feeling hopeless, feeling bored, feeling, with the Four of Cups, feeling bored, feeling indifferent, you know. And so I feel like this is really you speaking up in a sense, because you do have the Black Egg here. You know, whatever it is that you have within your mind or within your heart, is that you're able to express yourself and learn how to express yourself, okay, to help you to move so that you're not getting kind of, like I said, consumed by all of these heavy feelings and emotions. We have the Lay of the Land with ancestral wisdom here, so I feel like you're you know, this is you learning how to master your emotions, because that's essentially what's happening here. Is learning how to move through and understand your emotions. And maybe it is your spirit guides or ancestors kind of helping you and guiding you along your path. I'm noticing here that both of these here look like sand, dirt, earth energy, and both of these look like water here. Like she's in the water and she kind of looks like she's underneath there too. So there's also this grounding energy here. Maybe how to keep yourself grounded, you know, during these times when you are experiencing this full range of feelings and emotions that are here. Okay. Let's see if there's any other messages the Spirit has for you as far as what your soul is currently learning right now. The solar plexus. So this could be working on your confidence here. We have practicing gratitude. We have deep healing. Very deep healing. We can see that. There's a lot of cups here. We have ancestral healing. So I feel like you're healing your lineage here. Definitely healing your lineage. Past lives I'm feeling as well here for some of you. We've got soul expression, which is really what your little black egg is about. You being able to give your soul a voice. Okay? Going deep, deep healing. Could be, you know, like I said, I'm picking up past lifetimes, even ancestral healing for you, your ancestors, is what's happening here, which is, it is truly beautiful. Okay, you're healing your lineage here. Okay, so yeah, I feel like continue, you know, whatever it is, wherever, like I said, you are at with your throat chakra. Maybe it's learning how to speak up, being more confident in yourself. Learn to be more assertive, learn how to set boundaries with people, or if you are someone who has a little bit of an overactive throat chakra where you lash out at people because you've been hurt before and you could be aggressive or mean sometimes, it's learning how to be in control of that. Okay, to be able to say what you need to say, but without using, say, hurtful words, lashing out. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay, so that is all that I have for you, pile number 1. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile 2. So those of you that resonated with the horse, which is earth energy, we have this little crystal here for you. So we're looking today at what lesson is your soul currently learning, and I wanted to start off with a message from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. To see what it is that your soul is currently learning right now. And the horse represents, like I said, earth energy. It's about momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. And it says the horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. It provides us with momentum so reliable, so supportive, that you can ride on its back toward any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina, exercise, and mental focus, meditation, are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. When it's in balance, it can achieve anything and it never gives up. When it's out of balance, it runs away and it feels weak. Okay, so this may really be that you are really learning, I feel like, a lot about how strong you are. Okay, and we'll see how this is kind of playing into your reading today, but this is what Spirit is saying, is that your soul is currently learning here. Momentum, freedom. So let's see, pile number 2. What lesson is your soul currently learning? Pile 2. What lesson is your soul currently learning? What lesson is your soul currently learning? We have the Three of Pentacles. What lesson is your soul currently learning? Knight of Pentacles. So lots of earth energy here. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got Justice. What lesson is your soul currently learning? Four of Pentacles. The Fool. Okay, so a lot of what I'm getting here is about you also stepping outside of your comfort zone. Okay. We got Taurus and Libra, Aquarius. And we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, so what I'm kind of feeling here is about you, what your soul is learning here is how to let go and release of, I feel like, any types of fears, any unhealthy patterns of behavior, any self-limiting beliefs, any conditioning, you know, from family, from society, from religion, culture, anything like that that is keeping you restricted in some way. It's really helping you to kind of keep your energy grounded, because this is talking about freedom here. It does remind me a lot of the Chariot in the tarot, which is also about freedom, momentum, movement, powerful movement forward. And so I feel like because you also have the Four of Pentacles energy here, it is about, you know, an energy of stability. I feel like for many of you, it's learning how to be a lot more disciplined, a lot more organized, a lot of more or less kind of thinking about what you're doing, right, before you do it. A lot of kind of like focused intention is kind of what I'm seeing here. And again, not letting your fears hold you back. I'm getting those of you that kind of get interrupted or even distracted from certain things. And that could be family members, friends, romantic partners that kind of throw you off of your path of things that you're ultimately meant to move towards. But it's you having also the freedom to be able to explore where your soul is helping you to journey to. And I feel like you're thinking about making better decisions, better choices for yourself. You're weighing your options with whatever it might be in your life. You're learning how to use your logic as well as your intuition with making balanced decisions, and also recognizing when there are certain things that you do need to free yourself from, whether it is, like I said, certain things within yourself, or even removing yourself away from a person or a situation that is not serving your highest good. Because ultimately with Justice here, this is about you doing the right thing, making the right decisions, with your highest good involved here. Okay, and like I said, I'm also getting an energy here of stepping outside of your comfort zone. I'm kind of curious to see what this Eight of Cups energy is here. I'm also feeling like there's certain commitments here, and they could be different types of commitments. It could be commitments with work, with family members, with friends, with romantic partners. But taking a look at, you know, any commitments that are not really serving you, no matter what they are. I feel like also any beliefs that you might have that are also hindering, blocking you. Why is the Eight of Cups here? Also Pisces energy. Why is the Eight of Cups here? Page of Swords. I feel like it's definitely helping you, like I said, to be much more grounded. I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles at the bottom, which is also helping you to achieve an energy of self-mastery. Okay? Looking at the details of certain things, certain people, certain situations. I feel like it's also surrounding yourself with people that are supportive. Okay, whether that is in your work environment or friends, you know, that you have surrounding you. I feel for many of you, it's also, there's an energy here of releasing any restrictions surrounding your masculine energy as well. Okay, surrounding your masculine energy. And the masculine energy is really helping us to, you know, think of plans, strategies, helping us to take decisive action, you know, making decisions, getting things done, staying focused, staying disciplined, staying organized, taking risks where we need to, where we're, you know, meant to kind of move forward in certain things within our life. So yeah, I definitely feel like moving away from certain things, you know, is kind of what I'm getting here. And I will say there is a very specific message coming through for some of you. It is movement away from a marriage or a long-term relationship that may not necessarily be serving your highest good. Okay? And that won't be for all of you, but I am getting that for some of you, where this maybe is holding on to a connection or feeling stuck in a connection, or even the energy of settling here. Okay? And if that is you, and you are feeling like you're kind of settling in your marriage or in your relationship, and it's not generally one that you feel happy in, then this is more or less about you, again, going back to the horse, which is about freedom, you know, and that could be you breaking yourself free out of something, and so that you can really create a new beginning for yourself. For others of you, I feel like it's you really improving your masculine energy here. Okay, learning how to be more confident, more assertive, more disciplined, more focused, in order for you to see the bigger picture, you know, especially where there is the consideration for moving away, say, like from a specific job, a specific work environment, and opening yourself up to something new. Okay, so let's see what else Spirit has for you. Pile number 2. What lesson is your soul currently learning? I'm also getting using your resources here. Okay, for some of you, using your resources, not being afraid to ask for help. We have closing door with completion. What lesson is your soul learning? Falling angel. We have spiritual narcolepsy. And we'll talk about that. Spiritual narcolepsy. Whoa. Okay, so we've got 3 here. I'm going to take those and just like dump the whole deck all over my... Okay, so we've got the dances on one foot with the balancing act. We also have empty well, and it says time to replenish. And then we also have the cosmic womb, also with the divine feminine. Okay, so the spiritual narcolepsy, for those of you that are not familiar with this term, is essentially where we become very, how do I want to say this? Kind of like very into 3D and neglect our spiritual self. And with, you know, and it could be involving yourself with certain people that are around you, that have lost that connection to their higher self. It can also be that you know, can kind of get very sucked into only 3D kind of thinking. And what I mean that is by only focusing on your 3D earthly kind of things that are happening in your life, you know, stuff that's going on with friends and family and the job and, you know, all the things that you have to do in your 3D life. And there is a neglecting of the spiritual self. And when we neglect that spiritual self, which has a tendency to happen, you know, through social conditioning, through, you know, us going to school and learning beliefs, you know, values and morals and things like that that we're conditioned to believe. And we can become further and further disconnected from our spiritual self. Okay? So spiritual narcolepsy is basically you being asleep, not being awakened to your divinity, not being awakened to your higher self. And this is when we start to feel lost. This is when we start to question, you know, who am I? Where am I? What am I supposed to do? What is my soul's purpose? I don't know what my passions are. We feel so lost. Okay? So I feel like a lot of this is you really learning how to, yes, keep your energy grounded, but at the same time, remembering who you are. You know, we have the cosmic womb here with the divine feminine. And to me, by you remembering who you are, you know, and letting go of, I mean, some of you may also be functioning very much from the masculine energy, in which the feminine energy might be something that is suppressed. And I feel like as a collective, we do have a tendency to function from the masculine. You know, we're no longer really using the intuition. We stop being able to trust what our intuition is telling us because we don't rely upon that, you know, that skill that we've had, you know, since we've incarnated here on earth. And so the more or less we're conditioned, right, by beliefs in society and school and all these things that we're learning, it's like it's pushing us further and further away from our authentic self, our spiritual self, right? We have to remember that we are spiritual beings that are having a 3D experience. And when we get too much sucked into that 3D, we lose the spiritual self, right? That is when we start to feel unhappy, unfulfilled, lost. Like I said, what is my soul's purpose? Why am I here? What are my passions? We feel we kind of going through life on autopilot. Okay? So freedom can mean so many different things to so many of you that are watching this pile, you know? And I'm seeing the balancing act here. And then you also have masculine and feminine energy here. So I'm feeling that this is also you creating that harmony and that balance both between feminine and masculine energies. But we also have the empty well here, and it says time to replenish. So to me, this is also a need for healing. It's a need for taking time to fill your own cup. Whether that is healing, that is self-love, that is self-care practices, you know, closing certain doors to the past so that you can really open yourself up to the present moment. But yeah, I feel like this is a big thing here from spiritual narcolepsy. Maybe you're freeing yourself from that, in a sense, being the falling angel. It's kind of like you come here to earth and you forget who you are, right? And our whole life's journey is about remembering who we are and why we're here. But sometimes we get so lost and so off course that we start, you know, getting ourselves involved with certain people, certain situations, career paths that are not in alignment with us, you know, with people, romantic partners that are just kind of spinning us around in circles. So it can be this whole kind of mental, emotional cycle that we get stuck in where we're just so disconnected from the self. So yeah, to me, this freedom is not only talking about, you know, other things that you might have yourself involved here in and getting out of your comfort zone, but it's awakening to your true self. It's you freeing yourself and who you really are. Okay, is another thing I feel like it's really important here. So let's see what else, pile number 2, about what your soul is currently learning right now on the right path. Maybe your soul is learning how to trust, or to even get onto, right, the right path for you. And then we have belief and faith. Okay. And this may be trusting that Spirit is guiding you on the right path. We also have invoking the divine. So some of you, with what your soul is learning here is how to connect with your higher self, how to connect with your spirit guides, how to connect with your ancestors. Okay? We have inner common balance and also shadow work. Okay? Shadow work is something that your soul is learning, and it's how to reflect upon those shadow aspects of the self, how they hinder you, how they can also help you. Essentially, we're not trying to suppress the shadow. We're learning how to be aware of it, and also create balance here too, because the shadow will never leave us. It is always and always will be a part of us. It is us learning how to integrate that. So we're also freeing yourself from the shadow. You're not living a life that is led by ego. It is more or less creating balance here between the ego and the intuition, having a healthy ego. Okay. Some of you, meditation might be something that really helps you to restore inner common balance within yourself. It may also be something where you can get more in tune with your higher self, so that you can trust the inner navigation or inner guidance, your inner compass that your spirit team is leading you on, and learning how to trust that. Okay, is kind of what I'm seeing here for you. Okay, so that is all that I have for you. Pile number 2. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile 3. So those of you that resonated with the camel, this is going to be a reading today. So we're finding out, what lesson is your soul currently learning? Okay, and I am going to read a little bit from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit, just to kind of give you a little bit more information on what it is that your soul is learning with this energy of the camel. And so the camel says, resourceful, independent, knows oneself. The camel can handle absolutely anything, as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease. Even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance. Kind of reminds me of temperance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. It also reminds me of the Strength card. It says, when it's in balance, it is calm, content, and it has a sparkle in its eye. And when it's out of balance, it is dehydrated and lacks vitality. Okay? So, yes, resourceful, independent, and knows oneself. Knowing yourself. Okay, so let's see. Pile 3. We're going to pull some tarot and see what other information we can get as far as what lesson your soul is currently learning. And maybe for some of you, because this is talking about judgment, anger, and kind of bringing that into balance. Maybe for some of you, it's learning how to keep your emotions under control. Temperance is kind of what it reminds me of. But also strength too, because strength is about being able to keep the ego in check. Okay, so let's see. Pile number 3. What lesson is your soul currently learning? What lesson is your soul currently learning? Pile number 3. lesson is pile number 3, soul currently learning? The 8 of water. Every single card got this card today. Every single pile. The 8 of cups. What lesson is your soul currently learning? Pile 3. The 4 of Pentacles. We have the Elder of Water, which is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is also about calm energy, calm waters, which is the same thing this camel is talking about. The King of Cups represents balance, maturity, stability, emotional mastery, mastering the emotions, learning how to keep them in balance. We have the, look at that, both of them are here, the Queen and the King of Cups. That is balance right there. What lesson is your soul learning? The Page of Wands. Three of Swords. And the Ace of Water. Okay, which is the Ace of Cups. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is when you are experiencing pain, heartache, disappointment, loss, something that is painful here, it can be really challenging for us to stay on top of our emotions. And I'm not saying suppress them and, you know, pretend like they don't exist and just kind of get rid of them. This is you learning how to release them in a way that is healthy. And I'm also kind of feeling this energy of, like I said, temperance, transmuting here. Because you also have the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is about starting down a new path, a new direction. It's an energy of passion and creativity and infinite potential. And so I feel like with the Four of Pentacles energy here, this is about also releasing control. Because the Four of Cups can also talk about us clinging onto something, being attached, trying to force something. It's about possession and control. So there are certain things, right, that when we go through experiencing pain or heartache or loss or breakups or no matter what it is that is causing this pain here, you know, our natural feeling would be to like cling on to it, attach to it, like try not to feel and experience that pain. And I feel like you're learning how to allow yourself to feel the full range of your feelings and your emotions and honor them so that you can release them and then let them go and be able to kind of transmute this into something else. Direct the energy elsewhere once you've been able to process and work through them. Because I'm also seeing with this Ace of Cups here, it looks like there's a lot of rain here. There's a hand. I'm just seeing it right now. There's somebody's hand here that's kind of holding her inside of it. And she's sitting inside there. She's a mermaid sitting inside someone's hand here. And there's a bunch of water with a rainbow. So this says a lot to me about release. You know, and we also have this bird that's here. The clouds are parting. The sun is coming out. So to me, this also says a lot about healing and renewal. Peace. A lot about peace, restoring peace. Okay. So yeah, being that we have both the Queen and the King here, this is balance. Both the King and the Queen. Balanced emotions. A lot about your intuition, your creative energy. The Eight of Cups is a lot about moving on, about letting go. For some of you, it could be about detachment, learning how to let go, right? Especially if it's a situation that has come to a painful end. Like, you know, like I said, dealing with a breakup or separation or some type of suffering or pain. You know, it can be very easy. I feel like we are essentially a collective that clings on to pain and suffering. You know, and at the bottom, I'm seeing the Ten of Swords. Okay, which is definitely a lot of pain. And I feel like instead of holding on to that and keeping ourselves stuck in a place of suffering, that you are able to, like I said, process your feelings, your emotions, bring them into balance, calm them. This says a lot to me about emotional regulation. You know, learning how to regulate your nervous system. Which can be a little challenging, you know, especially depending on what kind of upbringing you've had. If you've had parents that were not emotionally regulated themselves, if they were, you know, if you grew up in a really toxic environment or a toxic relationship that you've had, toxic friendships, surrounding yourself with people that don't know how to regulate. And sometimes we don't know how, and that's okay, you know. We're all a work in progress, and this is us just learning how to calm it down, you know. Some of you could have been stuck in a lot of like fight or flight energy or a functional freeze state, in which you kind of got stuck in, you know, certain emotions and don't know how to get unstuck, basically, from a state that you might have been in from the past. And we're just kind of functioning through our pain, you know. What else did I want to say about that? And I would say that it's not so much, I feel like for some of you that are kind of even stuck in like that freeze state with certain feelings and emotions, like especially if you've been through a lot of pain, you know, it's kind of like there's numbing that happens. We get numb, and you know, we could have a tendency to suppress or even repress feelings and emotions. And again, I feel like going back to the energy of the camel here, it's you learning how to process, you learning how to have a healthy functioning nervous system. You know, if you grew up in an environment where you felt like you had to constantly walk on eggshells, or you grew up in an environment where people were yelling, or people were controlling or demanding, or, you know, abusive in any way, yelling at you, or, you know, even if you became that type of person and you don't know how to regulate your own emotions, how to calm down, if you're somebody who lashes out at people, you know, or you've been in that environment where you've had another person kind of do that to you, you know, it can kind of disassociate too. And having gone through so much trauma or so much pain that you just kind of get stuck, you know, in that. And so I feel like a lot of this is you learning how to nurture yourself, how to listen to your body. And just because we might feel like, oh, you know, I don't feel anything, doesn't mean that there's not anything there. It just means that we might have really kind of suppressed things. So it might take a little bit more digging to kind of look into things, or to, you know, sit down with a therapist or somebody that can truly give you the professional help, you know, especially if you're someone that has experienced any type of grief, whether you've had a passed on loved one, a passed on pet, you've had, you know, a really bad breakup that's hard to process as well. The body doesn't know the difference between feelings of grief, of pain, of sadness, of suffering. It doesn't know, you know, how or which way the wound was inflicted. All it knows is that it feels pain, you know. And so I feel like this is a lot of you here is learning how to really let go and release feelings, emotions, detaching, I feel like, as well, for some of you. Learning to detach from your pain may also be another thing. Learning to let go of the pain. Because like I said, sometimes we can get stuck in, getting used to so much pain that we just stay stuck like that. It's all we know is that we feel pain, we feel misery, we feel depression, we feel sadness, and it becomes a part of us, And so I feel like this is a lot of work here where you are learning to really love yourself, nurture yourself, be compassionate towards yourself, towards others, be more empathetic, more nurturing, more connected into your heart space. Let love in, be vulnerable again. Be compassionate towards yourself, especially if you are someone who's gone through a lot of trauma. Be easy on yourself. Speak kindly to yourself, your inner voice. Don't beat yourself up, to really help you to process and release, I feel like, a lot of that. Okay, so let's see what else for you. We have lots of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. I'm also getting Sagittarius, Libra, Cancer, Aries, and Leo. Let's see what else. Pile number 3. What lesson is your soul learning? Yeah, I feel like a lot of it is about emotional mastery. Okay, especially with both the King and Queen of Cups being here. It is emotional mastery, your intuition, your creative energy. Some of you, I feel like, are very, very intuitive, very creative. And some of you holding on to a lot of pain can create a lot of blockages and can block that flow of creativity. Block that flow of intuition. It can also be something that blocks out spiritual gifts, that many of you have. And healing is going to be something that really helps you to open up in that. We have root girl here with the disowned self. Okay, so this says a lot to me about you. I'm getting soul fragmentation here, soul reclamation, reclaiming the lost parts of yourself. And I'm seeing a little girl here. Okay, and so for some of you, this might be your inner child that you are reclaiming, right? All these lost parts of yourself, regardless of your gender here. But it's instead of disconnecting or disassociating yourself from that part of you, it is you reclaiming, calling back your fragments of your soul, in a sense, back to wholeness, okay? Let's see what else. In this card here, she looks like she's alone, she's lost, she's scared. She's hurt. We have the Garden of Venus, and it says rest and renewal. Okay, so some of you, this can really be a time for you. What you need to learn to do is that when you are in pain, you're suffering, you're feeling hurt, you're feeling sad, that is your body's way of telling you, I need attention. I need attention. I need healing. I need help. Because if we ignore it, right, we ignore this pain, whatever this suffering is that we're going through, and we suppress it and we say, okay, I don't have time to deal with this right now. This is too painful. I want to forget this. All it does is come back to bite us in the butt later on down the road. Okay? By us ending up in having a mental breakdown, a nervous breakdown, what some people call it. you know, where we fall into a depression, or we find ourselves kind of like I did in the past in a mental health facility, you know, because the suppressing and the suppressing and the suppressing is just too much. Your body cannot handle all of that energy, all that pain, all that anger, all that resentment, whatever it is that you're holding inside, to the point where it starts to affect your muscles, your joints, your memory, your gut, right? And starts to manifest in your physical body. Okay? So what you're learning here is how to find and promote and maintain calm inner balance within you. Okay? By learning to listen when your body says, I need to rest, that you give it rest, that you give it attention, that you give it love, that you give it nurturing, and take care of your vessel. Okay? Let's see what else. What lesson is your soul learning? Maybe for some of you, it's slowing down. It's paying attention to yourself. It's taking a break. It's going on vacation. It is, you know, let's see. We've got a lot here. We've got the Holy Mountain. We've got the Smoky Mirror. The Smoky Mirror. We have the Dust Devil with moving out of stagnation. We also have fire here. And we also have the Galactic Mushroom with the Divine Matrix. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of this as, again, like I was getting earlier, temperance, transmutation, the process of alchemy, transmuting that pain into your power, reclaiming your power, reclaiming these lost bits and pieces of yourself, bringing yourself from broken to whole again, balanced. Okay? I feel like this is a lot of you. This kind of reminds me of the Hermit here, the Holy Mountain. I'm seeing a little person here who's kind of like way up on a mountain here. Looks like this person's up on the hill, like meditating. It reminds me of the Hermit. This is time for retreat, introspection, solitude, a journey back to the self, self-discovery. A lot of time for reflection here. And I feel like this fire energy is that transmutation, right? The transmuting of the energies here. It's also the number 19 here, which is the Sun card in the tarot, which is about bliss, happiness, vitality, your life force. Pile 3, your life force. You know, experiencing joy, experiencing happiness again. Feeling alive. Okay? And a lot of what you may have gone through in the past may have taken that away. Where you feel like you cannot be fully present, you know, in this moment here. So let's see what else Spirit has for you. Pile number 3, about what lesson your soul is learning. And I feel like in some way, certain things that you may have gone through may have really weighed you down. We've got self-discovery here. His soul is learning, discovering the self. We have rebirth. I love this. Rebirth. And then we have soul expression. Your soul is learning how to express itself. What else for pile 3? The heart chakra. Okay. Healing the heart chakra. We have endings and beginnings here. To me, it's about letting certain things go so that you can create a new beginning. And I'm seeing spiritual warrior at the bottom. Okay? You being able to move beyond. Like that card was saying, the camel has the power to be able to make it through and overcome anything, no matter what it is that life brings to you. But there's also a need for us, because sometimes some of those things are challenging. And it doesn't mean that we're without feeling anything, whether positive or negative, whatever it is that we're going through, but that we're able to Understand how resilient you are, how you do have the power to overcome it. And like I said, it doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means we're learning how to work through them. We're learning how to balance them. We're learning how to transmute them. We're learning how to not let the emotions completely derail and take control of you, but more or less you are in control of it, them. Okay? So that is all that I have for you, pile number 3. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading.